Welcome home, racing fans. Well, this classic from Carrera has finally arrived. A lot of you have been waiting for it, talking about it, and here it is. Thank you, LEV Hobbies. Always excellent service from them. Really appreciate it. And the Red Pig has landed. Now, you're going to have to take your time. You're going to have to look up the history on this car and have a great read, because it's, basically the birth of AMG, the almost 2 tons of Mercedes here, and it really surprised a lot of people. But anyway, do the research. You'll find out that Carrera has done a pretty good job on the outside. I think the markings look really good. Very nice clear coat there, nice and shiny. The details, although some of this may or may not last forever given how you drive it, but on the outside, I have to give them a thumbs up. I think they've done really well. You turn it over, you'll see inline configuration, the larger wheels and tires that the prototype had, and you notice the guide placement here is, well, not really ideal, but with Carrera's design, I suppose that's where it had to be, and that meant independent fronts. And right there, that's kind of me being picky, but just a lot of free play there. For the average person just snapping this on the track with the magnets, it's probably going to run just fine, but that's I really wish Carrera would have taken a little bit more time and just made it a little bit better. Could have been better, but that's okay. I'm just probably being picky. Anyway, we're going to get this car out here. We're going to give it a nice little road test, see how it goes out here on the wood. But so far, I'll give a thumbs up on the outside. It looks great. So, I don't expect too much out of the car. It wasn't made for a wood track. It was made for their track with magnets. But for those out there, non-magnet racers, wood track owners, I can tell you now that it has the typical Carrera issues. The guide is sitting up inside the chassis a little high, so the front tires are bearing a lot of weight, and because of the free play in them, we've got some pretty good wheel hop going on here in the front. That's okay. We'll see if we can work on it a little bit and tune it up. The lights are a nice touch in analog mode, so I like that. So nothing impressive, but it's not a slotted or an NSR, and it's not priced as one either. So it has that going for it. Still a cool looking car. I can't wait to get this thing running a little bit smoother. Okay, taking a look on the inside, not many surprises. The stock motor, the E200 motor as usual, 9 to 27 gearing. The circuit board here for the polarity switch so you can change direction. And for the lights, these are all your quick disconnect plugs. Your magnets, one here, right below the pinion as you can see here, and there, and then the magnet mounted in the center, in the mid chassis, right there. Now for the front wheels, the free play, the slop, you can see it right here. I've added a shim, a 10,000 shim right here, and that really helped a lot with the free play. However, just rotating it, you can see it's a bit out of round, or a lot out of round, but still we've managed to get rid of some of the free play, which is really going to help the car. You could probably go with a 5,000ths, but you'd have to test fit that to see, and I don't really know if we can get this round or not, given the fact that the front wheels are different than the rear wheels in size, so you can't just swap the tires to the rear, sand and bring them forward, that kind of thing. We'll have to investigate that further. And with that said, we are going to talk about the wheels and tires, so hang on, it's going to get a little messy. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to explain this, so pardon me if I'm a little lengthy here, but I just want to make sure everything's covered. You notice that the car didn't have much grip in the road test, and a lot of that has to do with the tires. Now, I know there's a lot of you that are fans of stock rubber tires. I'm almost certain you won't be with these. Carrera has created a compound that is probably the hardest rubber stock tire that I've felt in a long while, and it's hard to show that or convey that in a video, but just peeling these off of the wheel is a feat in itself, and there's just not much flex to these tires, so it's a pretty bad compound. I'm really surprised at Carrera. You would think a company with this many years of experience would actually test something before they just shoe a car with them, but these are pretty poor, in my opinion anyway. You might be a fan of them. I don't see how, but maybe you are. If that's the case, then I'm happy for you. But for the rest of us out there, just not good. And it doesn't get any better, as I'm going to show you with the wheels. There is no quick fix. One thing's for certain, Carrera is famous for changing wheel sizes, creating some really specialty one-off wheels, and I have to say they've outdone themselves this time. I noticed when I was taking the tires off that there was an obvious difference in size between the outside portion of the wheel and the inside rim of the wheel. And then I noticed, looking on the inside, that this, the outer section, is just a snap-in insert. Now, I just popped this out with a screwdriver. So this just sets in there and snaps in place like that. And it can be easily popped out, just taking a flat tip and going inside there and popping it out. But as you can see, the diameter, the outside diameter of the rim here, is different by more than a millimeter, which means that an aftermarket tire such as the 2112-6 double XD Paul gauge urethane, it can go on here and it doesn't fit too badly. However, it's not going to fit all the way on the inside of the inside rim. And just to show you, neither does the stock tires. So the only portion of this tire touching the wheel is on the rib itself and the outside. There is no support here. Now, inspecting the stock tires, turning them inside out, Carrera has embossed them with part numbers. It almost looks like they've molded in like a small flange or a rib on the inside of the tire to try to make contact with the inside. But if they did, it's a failure because it just doesn't work. It's not connecting. So I have no idea why this was designed this way, other than perhaps trying to make a standard wheel and just change the inserts out, but that doesn't make much sense. You could do the inserts on other molded wheels. That's just the way you make them. This, I don't know. There's a lot of engineering gone wrong here, if you ask me, but you know what? That's just me. The rib is very deep as well, so you'll need an extra deep groove just to get those tires to fit. As far as I'm concerned, sanding these, I would probably glue these, put these in the tire machine and sand the inner rib down, and then if I did slip on the tires, then I would have to put some glue here, and they would probably work a lot better than the stock tires, of course. That's not saying a lot, but at least it would improve the grip a little bit. But as far as I'm concerned, that's about as far as I would go with this stock system on the car. It could be that it would have to be changed out for those advanced enthusiasts that really want more performance. It looks like it's aftermarket parts time, But we'll get to that at a later date. Anyway, I hope this helps you and explains to you the challenges that you're going to face. And with all that said, I still think the car is worth a look, especially if you're a fan of the car in general and the history of AMG. You're really going to want this in your collection. If you're just going to take it out and do some occasional fun running on your plastic track, letting the magnets work their magic, it'll be fine. If you're not expecting a lot out of it, performance-wise, then no problem. And the price is fair. It isn't going to gouge your eyes out on the price. So it's probably worth the investment. I'm glad I did, even though I think the people that work in the body and finish department should have coffee with the chassis and wheel people more often. Other than that, like I said, I could be a little bit picky when it comes to non-magnet wood track operation, because we certainly have our challenges, but it's not the first time we've had challenges and we've worked through them. So the car is really a nice looking car. It's probably worth the investment to add it to your collection, especially if you're just collecting. The Red Pig, it's like I said at the start, it's worth the read. You have to Google it and enjoy the story that goes with this car. But anyway, again, thanks LEB for the great customer service as usual. You guys are top notch. Really appreciate it. And Carrera, not bad, not perfect, but not bad. Certainly an interesting car.